All right, ladies and gentlemen, buddy, listen. Got a very, very special guest. One of our guys, our true, I think, true friends. When you're working and you have a coach that everybody can relate to. This is somebody that Sherm and I specifically. He was our guy. We walk in every day. He's got the. You just walk in, you feel a different type of energy when you walk around Rubes. Barry Rubin, longtime Chiefs strength coach, longtime NFL strength coach. And
Hall of Fame strength coach.
Hall of Famer.
Thank you, Sean.
One of our true friends. So welcome in, Rubes.
Thank you. It's so good to be with y'all. You know, it's always great seeing both of y'all and being able to hang out with y'all. And y'all two are real special people.
Appreciate that, Rubes.
Well, we think the same of you, Rubes. When we went through the list, you were one of the top guys for one of the first couple episodes that we wanted to hang out and talk to you and have some fun for the next hour.
It will be fun.
We wanted to make sure we got you in before you head down south. So we're like, all right, we got to get Rubes before he leaves us. You know, you recently retired. How's retirement treating you?
You know what? It's going good. Like I say, every night's Friday and every day's Saturday. So
I love that.
Yeah, it's been good. I've enjoyed being able to watch college football and all the NFL games and watching the Chiefs play. And no, it's been good, and been to spend time with Nicole. And we've been going down to Arkansas to see our daughter daily, and to Louisiana where I'm from. So it's good. We just got back. We went and saw LSU and Arkansas play down in Baton Rouge, so that was a lot of fun.
I mean, now for you, like, has it been the same for both of us? If the Chiefs do lose, it's not as consuming. You don't feel as bad.
Yeah, you don't feel it as like that Monday and Tuesday. You know, it just
you might flip to the next channel and watch the next game.
Yeah, when you lose, it's like a death in the family.
Yeah,
when you're a part of it, it is like a death in the family. And then, but Wednesday you got to be over it.
Yep.
Because you start practice for the next opponent, and you got to put it behind you. But it is different being away from it, and you don't have that stress of having to win. But it's been good. I've enjoyed it. It's been real good.
Is it weird being out? Like, obviously, I think the biggest part of a strength coach, I feel like, is summer. That's your main time to spend time with the guys. You're kind of the only coach that can really do a lot of things that other NFL coaches aren't. The rules with the CBA and all the weird things with the NFL, you're kind of the one guy that you can actually do some cool things in the summer and get the team working out and get that camaraderie going. Was that the weirdest time? Was that the hardest time to adjust for you?
I would probably have to say more so this season.
Yeah.
Watching when it's really happening, the games are really going on, and watching them play. And I can remember when I graduated college in 1980, and I became a strength coach the next year. Even though I was in strength coaching, I still missed playing for 1 year. And then it was kind of behind me, and I didn't think too much of it after that. And so I'm kind of thinking maybe it'll be the same here. The first year I'll really miss it, because there's so many guys on the team and coaches on the team that and hope that they do so well. And then after that, it kind of,
as guys moves
on, and
team changes,
and then 3 to 5 years. The roster will be so different. And
you won't know anybody on the team.
It won't be many.
I feel like that's different, though, with the Chiefs, especially coaches. I feel like the coaching turnaround's not as crazy as the player turnaround with Coach Reid.
Right.
He's kind of got his guys that have been there for so long. How'd you really get connected with Coach Reid from the jump? I mean, we know you start with the Packers.
I started with the Packers, and he was there when I got there. Mm-hmm. And then he left after Mike Holmgren left and went to Seattle as the head coach and GM. And I was the assistant strength coach at the time at Green Bay. And then the general manager there, Ron Wolf, said, we're going to move you up as a head guy. So I stayed there, and then Coach Reid got the job in Philly. And then we had a losing season in 2005, and our whole staff got let go. And then Coach Reid, there was an opening, brought me over to Philly. And so I've been with him around, I think, 20 years or so, between Green Bay, Philly, and the Chiefs.
I mean, I think that's a testament to you on how awesome you are and how loyal you are, but also Coach Reid. Like, you don't see a lot of that in the NFL with guys staying with their dudes. You can really call him like, hey, that's my guy. Yeah. He's going to come with me anywhere. He's going to be there until I'm done or he's ready to go, because there's a ton of turnaround this year. And the one thing that I did miss, though, from my last two training camp trips is the Barry Rubin workouts that I got to see all the years that I played. But in that tent that no one wanted to be, no one wanted to be in the tent with Rubes.
A little hammy injury. We went
up to training camp this year, and it was inside, so we didn't get to see Ryan take over the tent and see if it was difficult or not.
Yeah, that was I've spent some time with Rubes when I had my back injury. You got to figure out. Well, that's what's fun about Rubes is he's going to figure out what, like, if you have an injury, he's going to figure out something that you can do to benefit from. Like, if you have a back, you can throw up some curls, you can get the arms going, shoulders, core, you name it. Rubes is going to figure out what's best for you. Is that something that you pride yourself on?
Yeah, you definitely don't want to say when you're over there, I don't want to hurt you,
right,
make it worse. So you definitely find, like the night before, when I know the guys that are probably going to be over there with me, I'll go over things that I know that y'all will be able to do and get some benefit out of it, and really it makes practice go by faster when I'm over there.
Yeah.
In the tent. I don't like the guys to be over there because I want you out there practicing. I don't want anybody to get hurt, but it does make practice go by faster when you're working with the guys over there.
Going back to Coach Reid, what is it about him that why is he so successful? Why did players love him so much? What is it about him?
I think the main thing, Coach Reid knows how to treat people. Mm-hmm. He knows how to get the best out of you. He just has a way about him. He's positive. He's truthful, and he gives you a chance. Like everybody that gets there, free agents, whatever it is, I always tell them, hey, you're going to get your chance. You're going to get an opportunity at some point. Coach Reid's going to give you an opportunity. So I think those are the great qualities about him. He coaches in a way, that a lot of other coaches don't do. He doesn't cuss,
right?
But he gets his point across.
Yes,
he gets his point across. So, he's the best.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like we did? Like you didn't want to disappoint him?
Yes, you don't want to.
I don't know how he does it, but there's something, the way he talks to you or however he's like, you never want. You're like, all right, I disagree. We can disagree. That's fine. But like, you just never wanted to disappoint that man. And I don't know what it is and how he does it, but I think it's everyone in the building's like that.
That's right. That's a good point, Sherm. You don't want to disappoint.
Right.
You don't want to disappoint.
Is he the same with the coaches as he is with the players?
Yes, he's good. He's real good. He's just so loyal,
right?
And you need to be loyal back to him also, and he gives you a chance, and he likes to people to move up within,
right?
If you've been loyal and done a great job, he's just he does things right,
right. Yeah, I think you can see that with, like you just said, if you're with him and you're loyal, you do a good job, you're going to move up in coaching. There's so many guys that I can think of that were GAs, that were interns that just keep moving up. The new strength coach, Ryan Reynolds, he was with you
for 7 years.
Yeah, I was going to say 7 years, and now he's the head guy over there. Have you talked to him? How's he adjusting to everything?
He talks to him. I ran into him and Rubes at Spin Pizza a couple weeks ago.
Sure did.
I pulled in and I'm like, pretty sure that's Rubes. There's Ryan. They're sitting there having dinner together, chatting things over.
Oh, love it. He's so capable and one of the smartest guys I've ever talked to on strength and conditioning. And he doesn't have a dishonest bone in his body,
right? And
will try his hardest to make everybody better. And he was definitely the right man for the job.
Yeah,
he's so deserving of the position, and I know he's doing a great job and will continue doing a great job for the Chiefs.
He's one of the guys. He was always with the skills, so I obviously dealt with him a lot my 5 years with the Chiefs, and Yeah, nothing but great things to say about Ryan. Ryan, very excited that he got that job, and it seems like from what I'm talking to, the guys I talked to all seem to love him. I mean, he's doing a great job.
Great job.
Keeps things.
He's an extension of Rubin.
Yeah, that's why we were just talking to Blake Bell, and that's exactly what he said. He's like, it's really not much different from when Rubes was here. It feels the same. He knows kind of how to treat guys, and I think that's obviously what you pride yourself on, is treating guys fairly and holding guys accountable. And it was always fun to, like, weigh-in days, especially, like, guys would try to not get out of it, but you would go search for these guys.
Okay, perfect. You got any good stories, Rubes, on weigh-in days throughout your career? You don't have to give names.
It was Thursdays, right?
No,
it was Fridays.
Friday mornings.
Friday mornings, weigh-in day.
I mean, how many weigh-in days did you do through your career? I mean,
26 years of it.
Yeah. Like you have to have some. You have to have some stories.
Oh
Rubes.
boy, I have some guy. I remember a particular person. I won't name any names. Had to put on some weight, and he wasn't there yet. And I was kind of waiting on him, and went over, looked in the locker, and we had been missing 2 5-pound plates, and there they were sitting in his locker. That
Is that why we had to start weighing in just straight compression shorts?
Yeah,
that's it.
You learn from your mistakes.
That's right.
Can't cheat the system there, buddy. I'll tell you that.
But it just keeps guys accountable. But you're only doing it. Really, 90% of the guys are perfect.
Yeah,
as
professionals.
Yeah. You're only 5, 6, 7, 8 guys are the only guys really on the team that need it. Either they're too light or too heavy, and you have to keep those guys accountable. But you do the whole team,
right? How much day to day do you? How much day to day are you involved with scheduling with Coach Reid? How much does he kind of let you do? How much freedom is he giving you to kind of set what you need to do? Obviously, you have to work out a few times a week. Is that all just?
It's done before. Yeah, it's all done before the season starts. Back in the spring, when OTAs and all that, he'll show me his schedule and everything, and then I'll put in where probably the best time for us to lift. Yeah, so
I mean, Coach Reid's got that schedule for
that's
15
right.
years
Going back,
now.
that's right.
He's got it ready. Rube, so like for your goals throughout like a season, did you set like different goals for different times of the year? Because like you were different, obviously. The big time that we got to spend the most time with you, and it was like time devoted to you and your strength department, was like the first 2.5 weeks of OTAs. Was there a goal that you tried to set every year? Anything different from maybe then to when season came?
During that phase, you really want to – the goal is just to get a good work capacity going the first 2 weeks. Just more volume, lower intensity. To kind of have a good base to build upon from there. And but when I first got in it, we had 16 weeks with the guys,
right?
And they'd have 2 mini camps, and they would set up times to go throw and stuff like that.
Yeah. How much? So how much has the NFL changed?
It's changed so much far as that's concerned. Because really, you think about it, we get 5 weeks, 2 weeks when it's undisturbed.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's the only time that was. It's like you're going in, you're getting your workout in,
you're running good, and that's the first 2 weeks, which are important, and we'll take them. And then phase 2, y'all go out on the field,
right?
But we're still lifting hard, and the running's had to change a little bit. I would like to upped it a little bit more. And then you go into OTAs and you're back to in-season lifting.
Right.
So really you got like 5 weeks, and then you're in-season lifting, and then you have your mini camp, and then everybody's gone. And but the good thing, when you're gone, most guys are okay, I'm at a pretty good shape right now. I'm in a good spot. I'm going to continue going, and you keep working hard. And then we did have that conditioning test. And again,
I mean, they used to.
Yeah, used to. It's not like it.
I mean, not like we used to have to do a gig.
I mean, the first couple of years, and then
it's changed with the CBA.
It's had like you just said. There's so much stuff that's changed with the CBA, with the rules, with the workload, and
I mean, I didn't get that. I think I experienced 1 year of like the watered down conditioning test, and that was the year of COVID.
Yeah.
That's right.
Other than that, I'm over there. I'm doing everything possible. And it wasn't Rubes at all. We would sit there and joke, but like, Rubes, come on, you gonna cut a couple? Yeah. He's like, but I can't. Coach Reid wants to do 15. We're gonna do 15.
Is that? I mean, what year did you notice a huge change in kind of that workload, work management, less time with guys? Was that kind of the 2019ish?
No,
maybe earlier than
18?
that.
No, it was 2011.
Yeah,
it was
2011.
That
so
that early.
I came in. I got drafted during the lockout, which is what was the actual real real lockout of like that we possibly could have done back. I think the year after COVID,
right?
But they ended up getting the deal done before anything was missed. We missed all of OTAs.
Yeah,
we started I think a week into 2 weeks into July, getting stuff kind of ramped up, and then we're going to go back. So yeah, I think it was then it really changed. Like no more 2-a-days.
Right.
So I didn't really know what else to expect in the NFL besides what the time that I had my 10 years in.
And I wish it was longer for the off season, for weight training,
I would have loved
running and sprinting and doing all that.
Eliminate the practice, man.
Well, but I do like the one thing I do like is the ramp up part of training camp.
Yeah.
When you start practice now.
Well, that's
it's
new.
different too.
Even back, that was the first year of COVID.
Yeah, and you ramp up. You go in shorts. You have hour and a half, and then you kind of go up a little bit. Then you go in the pads. You bring the time back down to an hour and a half, and you ramp that up. So I do like that. I think that helps with soft tissue.
Right.
Not as much soft tissue injury, and I think that's been a good addition.
Right. How much has the science of strength and conditioning changed throughout your years? Was it a huge? I know Ryan loves the science of strength conditioning. How much?
And you know what? And Ryan's really, really good with the technology and everything, and he knows what's real good and what's is not realistic.
Rubes is more of a nuts and bolts. Yeah. Just get down to that. We don't need all that technology. We just get after it.
Yeah, I mean, so am I, buddy. Like that's what I like. But they're like nowadays, like you're talking about soft tissue and
you know what
numbers.
I think to me where the science lies is in the training program itself.
Yeah,
maybe not. And there's some good stuff with technology. There is, the GymAware where it measures your bar speed. That's good. There's some things, but I think it's the science in the program, knowing what percentage you're using, what reps you're doing. Each day, each week. It's just and it's a progression.
Well, but guys don't know is he's talking about a longer OTA or training program that used to start. What was it? It used to start in like March.
It would start
beginning of March.
Yeah.
Wait,
we'd have 16 weeks.
60. You're getting paid those 16 weeks.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So like you get guys are like, I don't want to be in the building, but like the longer you're out of the building, the less opportunity you get to make money. So like go get a work. I mean, what are you going to you're going to be working out at home for free.
Yeah.
Why don't we just go into the facility, get a 3 hour pump in with Rubes and call it a day.
Yeah, that's
get
what
paid for it.
Yeah, that's what I really didn't like about summers was like summer felt like it was I would have liked way more time with you, way more time doing the strength conditioning versus the practices.
Agility, yeah.
Because the practices wear you down, and once you start camp, it's like, oh man, and then the season goes, and we're playing until February every single year, and you just start feeling worn out at the end of the year. And I think the 2 months that you could be doing strength conditioning, you're practicing and running full speed, doing cuts, and obviously that's not great for your body, but we made it work. But I mean, that was something I didn't like.
You really need, say, a season 17 weeks. You need to better train that long before you even start it. So the training needs to be as long as the season to get you prepared, maybe even longer, but you just don't, you're not going to have that kind of time. But, 16 weeks was good. That is a good training cycle. And you can have a break in the middle, everybody leave for a week or so.
Yeah. Did you have a goal in season that you tried to get? Like you had a say practice squad. Did Did you have a goal with those guys that you wanted to see improvements through the year?
Yeah, we trained
intensities or however that.
Don't point at me like that ever.
Well, I mean, it's your practice squad.
I know I am, but like
you were in there.
Don't just like act like that was.
I mean, is that not what you were?
It was, but just don't point at me like that.
Just,
they say that's rude. Don't point at people.
Rubes, you got anything over here for him with the practice squad? What his goals were that year?
G contributed. He contributed. He sure did. It takes everybody. But the practice squad would lift a little bit more. Percentages will be a little higher. So, we'll present through the whole season. Now, of course, if a guy comes in and he's hurt or something, it's different, and we'll have a couple different types of workouts for the guys, just depending on the individual.
Yep.
And our goal is just to keep our head above water, keep it going, keep everything strong, and keep you explosive. And that's our goal each week.
Who were some of the guys that really stood out in the weight room to you over your years? I mean, you got
besides you two.
Besides us,
besides us.
obviously.
I mean, not Garrett,
buddy.
Yeah,
what? I'm throwing up weight in there every day.
Yeah, baby weight.
Packers, Eagles, Chiefs. Name 2 or 3 guys from me. That really...
in Green Bay, I think I mentioned this guy to y'all before. Marco Rivera was offensive lineman that we had from Penn State, like a last round draft pick, and ended up being a Pro Bowl player. Was self-made man.
Just love those stories.
Ended up playing, I think, 12 years in the NFL. I think 10 with Green Bay and 2 maybe with Dallas. But, I mean, he was a stud, and what a wonderful human being. Also Brett Favre worked hard. I bet he could bench 350. And Scott, I said in season, I sat over there and watched him squat 4 or 5 for 5 reps.
Stronger than me.
Exactly.
Well, my knees will blow out nowadays trying to do that.
But there's, Kabir Baja-Biamelo was a hard worker.
I love that name.
Defensive end. Yep. Brent Selleck, he was a kind of another self-made man.
Yeah.
At tight end.
Yep.
Who was awesome. Michael Vick was awesome.
Chiefs guys.
A lot of them. And I really mean this, and I told my last day there, I enjoyed all 3 places I was at, but I think that I enjoyed being here with the Chiefs the best of all 3 places. And for some reason, the guys from the Chiefs, I don't know if it was just more compliance. It was better compliance, and maybe it was just the time has passed since I first got in it. Maybe the players have gotten more educated in it. But it was we had some really, really great workers with the Chiefs. From the first year all the way to now. And, I really enjoyed all the guys coming in. That was my time of the day when they come in.
You brought up Brett Favre. What are the similarities, differences, training-wise between Pat and Brett Favre, weight room specific, are they the same? Are they different? What's their work ethic like?
Well, it's just now that I have grown a little more too. I do little things different with Patrick than Brett. Like we'll do dumbbell bench press, and he'll do front squats and trap bar deadlift and great things like that. So both of them are extremely hard workers, and great guys.
Who's stronger?
Well, I don't know if Patrick can bench 350.
I'm going Brett Favre.
I got it.
Old school.
I think Brett Favre.
Yeah, old school.
Pat's probably more athletic, but I think weight room.
Yeah, it's a different time, a different training method, like you said. Like, there's different stuff that you knew now that are probably more beneficial for quarterbacks to do than back when you first started. There's just different machines. There's different workout programs. There's just a bunch of different stuff that goes on. But I know you've said this before, but I think it's fun to watch quarterbacks go in and care about lifting. Like, they want to get strong. They want to get after it.
Every quarterback, they're all smart guys. They are, and they're all conscientious. And they're some of your first guys in the weight room.
Right.
They all are. And
unless it was me. I was there before Rube some days.
I mean, buddy, we're talking about quarterbacks here.
I know. I'm just saying. Always, he can't be always the first guy in the. I was there before.
I mean, Winchester was there probably before you, but
no.
I mean, you weren't there before practice squad. I was in there grinding.
Yeah, I'd be in and out of there before you guys even showed up.
No, buddy. Like I was. Trust me, I remember.
Actually, no, you're right. You're right. You were in the weight room probably before me. Your locker room was in the weight room for a couple years.
COVID year you remember that the COVID locker room? Talk about that. What the adjustments that you had to make during COVID and
we had during COVID we had 2 different weight rooms because you could only have 10 people in there at one time.
Yep.
So remember you made that whole
in the back of a storage area into a weight room.
It was kind of cool. Like it was a good vibe in there. Like,
it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. You go back there, you throw up some weight.
A little cold though, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
I don't think it was
cold?
heated.
The whole indoor wasn't heated. I thought. No, it's heated, not air conditioning.
No, it was cold. It was cold back there.
It was cold back there. And you guys were in the storage, like the garage doors were right there. I remember those guys would bring all their equipment from in and out of practice and open that door right into the weight room.
Oh yeah.
You weren't there COVID year?
I was there. That was my last year.
So why do you keep saying you guys?
Because I didn't go back. I didn't lift back there.
Are you too good?
No, I lifted at my a lot of the time. I mean, I lifted at home a bunch.
Yeah,
that year,
Monday, Tuesdays,
because they were trying to keep guys out of the building.
Yeah, it was up and down with it.
It was one week. It was like everyone's good to go, and next week they're like, "Hey, we're shutting the building down Monday and Tuesday." And luckily, we lived in the same subdivision. You were like, "Oh, you got everything you need. Just work out over here."
How crazy was that year for you?
It was
adjustment wise.
I'm just glad that was over with, and I hope it never happens again.
Yeah, that was nuts.
It was. I mean, because you got 10 people, so we had 2 weight rooms. You'd have 20 guys going at one time, and you constantly had to counting guys, make sure there's no more than 10 guys in the room. And
they had cameras and everything.
They had cameras and
election year's coming up.
Masks, everything.
They're going to come back with it.
But it was. I'm just glad that's over.
Yeah. Yep. Now we don't have to worry about it.
That was. The locker room was kind of the thing that pissed me off the most. Was like, all right, let's throw the practice squad in the weight room. One, it takes away from the weight room. Like you got to adjust to it. I mean, you're taking up, what was that, 15 lockers in there or so?
Yeah.
I mean,
almost half the weight room.
Yeah, it's taking up a lot of space. You're throwing guys in there. I didn't feel part of the team when I was in there. It's like the locker room is the part that makes the being part of a team the most fun. That was disappointing.
You're right.
That COVID.
It does. But we got through it.
Yeah, we got through it.
And sometimes that's just part of it, isn't it?
Yeah. There's one guy that's having a lot of success right now was one of our old buddies, Tyreek Hill.
Oh, man, he's killing it.
How fun is he to watch? Talk about him as a weight room guy, as a person from what
cheetah,
you remember.
Strong as can be. I mean, I've seen him 405, front squat 405 for 2, bench 315, I think, for 3. Extremely strong, explosive, and such a fun-loving, great guy to be around, and he's the best. I miss him.
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday. He said, "Make sure you tell Rubes I said hello."
Did you?
He told me to call him. I tried to call him a little bit. He didn't answer, so I might call him again here soon. But yeah, he loves you, and he wishes you nothing but the best.
Yeah, I miss Tyreek.
I don't think you could find someone that doesn't love Rubes. And if you found someone, tell them to come over here. We'll
take him to the backyard. And
we'll take him to the back shed.
We'll show him a little something. Put him in that ring and see what they're
I'm
made
glad
of.
I got friends like y'all.
I got enough weights in here. We'll use them on them.
So your retirement life, how much are you working out? What do you, to the average man or woman, what do you, fitness-wise, kind of what's your routine like? How many days are you working out? What's important to work out?
I'm working out 3 days a week, as far as lifting wise.
Yeah.
And then I usually try to walk Tuesday, Thursday, and maybe do a cardio on Saturday.
His cardio doesn't end either.
I know.
And I've been doing this program, which I love, especially from people 30 to my age, it's called the German Body Composition Program.
Okay.
And it's more like similar to circuit training.
Okay.
You know, you do exercise and you get 30 seconds to a minute. You go do like an upper body exercise and you rest 30 to 60 seconds, do a lower body exercise, just back and forth. And you have 4 pairs, so you go through 8 exercises, and it takes about 45 minutes, 50 minutes at the most. And then you're done. And you're getting, it's like doing cardio with weights. And it's working with your growth hormones. And I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed doing that. And, usually my whole life I've lifted for strength, even up until I started doing this. And I'll probably go back to that. You don't want to stay on one thing all the time.
Right.
And I'll just use a periodization scheme for myself, like doing a phase of reps of 15, then 10s and 6s. I won't go below 6s.
So for the people that are listening, please tell them what you mean by strength development, meaning what your numbers were back a couple years ago. I want to hear. I've always asked you this, and I don't think you've ever given me a real answer. I've heard some numbers through the grapevine. I mean, come on. Tell me some numbers that you had back in the day.
This is probably when I was 25, 6, 7 years old. So this is 40 years ago.
Come on.
Okay. Don't sugarcoat it, Rubes. Give it to us straight.
440 bench, 650 squat, and a 400 power clean.
The power clean, it wasn't like you did it for reps, right?
No, one rep.
What was that story you were telling me about how someone was trying to do it and you just grabbed it and started repping it out? Was it 325 or 335 or something like that?
It was, what it was? It was when I was strength coaching in college. We had a guy that, he was bragging how strong his shoulders were and everything. And we were doing dumbbell shoulder press. And he grabbed the hundreds. And he said, "Watch this, coach." And he did it. I think he did it 8 times. And I said, "I'll double what you can do." And so I did do it, I think 19 or 20 times.
Gives me bad memories because me and Sherm were working out one day over here, and what was it, 225, 185?
It was 225.
225. Sherm said the same thing. I was like, I bet you can't double or triple or whatever it was. And
he said, I'll buy you a coffee I'll buy you a coffee before the show if you can double what I did.
What'd I do?
I think
like 15 or something like that. Something light, like
no.
No, you could do that 15 times.
No,
225.
He did not. He did not get.
I could put right now. Not
it was
then.
275. It was 275.
It was 275. What'd I do
you
twice?
Got it. No,
1.5.
You got it. I think 6.
I did that 6 times.
You got it 6 times. And you were like, "Yeah, you're not going to beat that." And then
That's pretty good.
I rolled through it, and I think I got to the end, and I'm like, "Are you sure?"
You were just pumping it out. Made me feel bad.
Now, Sherm, I've witnessed this. Sherm is bench 450, inclined 405 for 2 reps, squatted in season for 600, and I think I saw him power clean 330 or 335. This is all in season. Witnessed that.
I'd just go with Rubes. I'm telling you.
Very impressive, Anthony.
I'd go with Rubes.
This guy barely works out now. Like, he's got this sweet gym. He's just in here, does like 2 lifts a day. Kind of embarrassing.
No, it's completely different. I'm enjoying the different style lifts that you can do and not feel like I just get a workout, I get a little sweat. Like I don't need to be in there like I need to get this number by season or I need to get this number on squat or like, I might skip leg day here and there.
Or you don't have to go out and run the half gassers.
Oh, Rubes. Oh, goodness. I wanted to. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. You'll get to this point, but like I can see why you really enjoyed the half gassers. I mean, you don't have to run them. It's fun to make other like people condition. Yeah. Like I'm coaching the Rex's youth football program, and the best part of my day is the end of practice when I can say, "Get on the line." I just casually walk over to the other side, and I was gonna have him do half gassers down and back. And Jordan Devy coaches with me, and he's like, but I think maybe we just go, have them come down and do it 4 times. Like, we'll do quarters that way. And I was like, all right, yeah, we'll do that. So then now I love being able to tell the kids, hey, get on the line. I don't count them. Like, I haven't gotten down.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten the Rube special counting technique
I was
yet.
going to ask.
They don't need a stopwatch.
No, they don't need a stopwatch yet.
Just make it.
Just make it and hustle and run all the way
That's
through.
right.
But I get it. Why I get now. I'm like, this is awesome. I don't have to worry about this.
Is that a trick that you have on the stopwatch? Because like sometimes you run the gassers and you'll count it out. Like if the scales have 16 seconds, you'll start counting at 13. And like some days it felt like you were going fast, some days slow. Is that something that you were always accurate on, or you kind of gave the boys a little break sometimes?
I tried to be consistent. Now I started counting when I saw everybody take off.
Yeah.
And so at least you got to step out.
No, he was definitely consistent with his timing. He would help guys out. He would help the team out. He knew he had a good temperature on the team and what we needed. I mean, the worst was when we would do that. We'd get up, we'd feel great. I mean, getting up that morning, the best you felt. You've had a couple days off from working out to prepare for training camp. Your body feels great. You're like, oh, you get out of bed, you're excited. You run the conditioning test. Everything is downhill from there.
Yeah.
The way your body feels. And then a couple hours later, what was it, 3-4 hours later, we were back on the field, and that's when we talked about this a bunch. Like, I just wish, and I think a lot of guys, I think they've done away with that now.
I think so.
I think if you just had to get in and we would go conditioning test, 3-4 hour break, and then back on the field for, a lighter practice, but still a practice.
All right.
You just set your body up so poorly for the rest of training camp. Like, it was an afternoon practice, and then we'd turn back around and have a morning practice. Granted, it wasn't full go. It wasn't pads, but I think they've been, and this wasn't on you, this wasn't on coach, this is just how it was. I think they've done away with that. I think they get up now and just do, and I don't know if you did it or maybe you guys did it last year, I don't know. Just got up and did the conditioning test and then had the rest of the day off.
That's right. That's what it was
I'd take
last
one of those
year.
Days.
I know.
Yeah. Those, I remember exactly what you were talking about. I think, I don't think I hurt my back that first practice back after the conditioning test. I feel like it was
like the next morning, I think.
I think it was the next day, but yeah, man, that was if it would have been nice to have it just the conditioning test and then you're off the rest of the day, just a couple meetings and get right into the swing of camp. But
I remember on the condition test, and the skill guys, that was a tough time for y'all to have to make, and the cheetah would let everybody get a head start on them. And then he'd take off.
Remember the time he went backwards?
And then backwards.
He zigzagged.
He's unreal.
He was so fast. He could play games like that.
Yeah, it pisses you off.
And, I think Rubes was like, just don't get hurt. You make your time, but just don't get hurt doing anything like that. I remember he would go backwards. He would go from this side across to the other side, diagonal across.
He would give the guys like a probably 25-yard head start and go finish in front of him. Trust me, I was running right next to him the whole time, so
you weren't next to him. You started next to him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you start next to him, you see him, you're like, all right, I'm not gonna win this run. This guy can win it whenever he wants. But yeah, it was Tyreek, he's a different character.
He is
different.
He is a special.
He seems to bring
now.
like that fun energy of football wherever he goes.
No doubt.
You see what the Dolphins are doing now.
Yeah.
It's like that's what the Chiefs look like for 2018, 2019. There was no better team to watch on TV. The entertainment factor was there, and it seemed like everybody was just enjoying being around each other.
Because on defense, you better pay attention to him,
Yeah, to see what he does.
Because he'll light you up.
Man,
So a lot of people probably don't realize, but during training camp and on the road or home games, whatever it was, there's bed check. You guys are checking the bedrooms. You're going in, making sure the guy's in his bedroom. And I know for a fact, and I want you to be honest, how many bed check stories do you have that are funny? I know Colquitt has probably done some things to you that I want you to elaborate what happened during your years. What was the main?
He's the worst. He's the worst. He's the only guy that did anything just nuts.
Yeah. I mean, what was some of the stuff
You know,
did?
he'd be, you go in and open the door, and he'd be sitting in his chair, acting like he's sleeping butt naked. That's the last thing I wanted to see.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you went in knowing you didn't know what it was going to be.
Oh, you knew it was going to be something.
Yep. I mean, I think that's what he does now. I think that he not what he does now, but like, didn't he always try to get someone new? He'd always ask you. I think after he'd get you, he'd ask like, "Oh, Rubes, who's new doing it this year? Because tell me what day he's doing it."
Oh yeah, he was something. He's something.
Doesn't he have some more of those? Like you have a couple more you can tell, don't you?
Oh, I mean, I think it was. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was to Barry or Shafe or Trav or Ryan or any of the guys that did bed check. And I think you might have done it once a week or
I did it on home games.
And then you did do it during training camp or no?
I didn't have to do it during training camp.
Okay, well then I think your assistants did it during training camp. I think, was it Greg? He got Greg one year, I think.
He probably got everybody.
Oh, he got everyone, but I there was one time that he was supposed, I didn't see it, so I don't know. This is just what he plays it like. I mean, he put a snake skin in the Coco Keys in Cairo Santos and Aaron Murray's bedroom. He dropped the snake skin, and they almost like quarantined the entire hotel because they thought there was a snake in the vents, and he refuses to this day. And he won't. I mean, I don't have 100% confirmation, but I'm like, I know
he won't admit it.
He will never admit it. You could talk to him till he's blue in the face. He will never admit it. It was one time that he got a cigarette. That I don't know how he got a cigarette, but he had a cigarette in a thong, and with a empty beer can, and he was sprawled out in a thong with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. Beer, like he was passed out from drinking and smoking the cigarette. And they walk in right as he's got like lights. And I don't know if he put lights in there or not, but like
these lights,
they're shining on him. So the only way you could see it was that. That's what you had to see.
The ultimate jokester. I mean, he's done stuff in your weight room here. Like he's done a few things that.
Oh yeah, he's drawn. I don't know how. No, yes.
You don't want to speak of, but I mean, he's done some things that he won't admit to, and
it should be down by now.
I think it's down.
I think it's down.
I don't think you got the other thing down.
No, I mean, I'm going to erase that. He put
he drew a dick
penis,
on your.
He got up on the rafters, Rubes.
And that thing's like 20 feet high.
I don't know how, and put and drew a dick and balls on the rafters.
I'm warming up one day, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm looking up. I looked up. I'm like, Sherm, did you somebody over here or the guys that built this place do something to your rafter up there? And
no.
He checked it out, and we had to.
Did you get it off?
No, I'm not getting that off. That's it. I mean, you can't unless you're really looking at it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rent like something from Home Depot to get it down. But he came up here and stood on the railing of the overlook and threw a flag sticker, a pride flag sticker on top of the. I don't know how he did it. And Winchester's over here with him doing it. It's Winchester too. Both those guys.
Yeah,
we're gonna have
they're
specialists of pranksters. They have so much time on their hands. They got to figure something out to get going. But man, those guys, those stories were so funny. Like the naked box outs he would do in the locker room when it's guys that don't know him either. He'll be coming out of the shower and like guys will be playing basketball.
Well, he'd get in the hot tub with shorts. You know, he'd be in there long enough. There'd be a couple guys that get in. Everyone's hanging around, and then he'd get out with no shorts on, and then everyone's like, "Wait, you've been in this thing the whole time with no shorts?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, I was in the hot tub. You're not supposed to wear shorts in here." And then the guys would be like, "Wait, what?" So yeah, there'd be plenty of times, and I know you experienced a couple of those, Rubes, throughout your time.
He's a character.
He's a character.
They don't make him like him anymore, though. There's not a guy like him. Definitely not he was somebody that's like. I don't know. You get to the Chiefs. It's like somebody that will not teach you the NFL way, but like just break the ice right away. As soon as you greet him, he's gonna do something funny, something that'll make you laugh, and like kind of freaked out by him. Honestly,
I see it.
Yeah,
that's him.
Yeah. All right, Rubes. A couple more questions for you. If you had to pick right now, who do you think is a strong Super Bowl contender?
You know, I was looking at it today. I think there's 6 teams that separate themselves from everybody else. 3 in the AFC and 3 in the NFC. In the NFC, I think it's Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Dallas. And then the AFC, it's Kansas City, Miami, and Buffalo. I think those are the 6 teams.
Do you root for the Chiefs?
Yes.
Root for Coach
Oh,
Reid?
yes. Matter of fact, I'm going to watch them play the Packers up in Green Bay. You know, when
Honorary captain?
no,
No.
on December 3rd.
Hall of Fame. He's getting his
and my cousin,
Packers Hall of Fame.
my cousin lives there. He's a huge Packer fan, and he has a suite. And I asked him if I could sit up there. He goes, "Yeah, but who are you pulling for?" And I said, "Well, who do you think? The Chiefs." You know,
You got kicked out.
Yeah,
He's
I said,
kicked out.
Coach Reid's there. You
Yeah.
know,
It's like me with the Yankees. Yanks in town this weekend.
Yeah, I think.
I got Rubes coming to the game.
we'll be there. The last weekend of the season.
Tell us about. I mean, have you been? Have you?
You know what
How
I
many
did?
baseball games have you caught?
You know what I did? This was outstanding. This was maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago. I have a buddy that's the assistant pitching coach for the Orioles. And he called me up, knew I was retired, and said, "Hey, we're playing up in Toronto. It's my favorite place to play. Why don't you come up, stay at the hotel, and come to a couple games?" So I did it, stayed at the hotel, got to ride the team bus to the game, ate with the team in the clubhouse, and then hung out there all day, watched the game, got on the team bus, went back to the hotel, did that for 2 days. And that was so much fun.
Yeah.
I used to be Rube's team bus.
He did.
I was Rube's team bus for him. I'd pick him up, bring him to the hotel, bring him to the stadium. I mean, I don't know if you're on that level, Gary, with us, but
I mean,
Sherm, I went to a Royals game one time with Sherm, and he said, "We're going to park right next to the stadium." I said, "Sherm, how can you do that? You don't have a pass or anything."
when was this?
This was a couple years back.
a few years.
And he said, "Yeah, Rube, we're going to park right next to it where the players park."
Oh, yeah.
So Sherm pulls up in there, and and Sherm goes, "Just don't look at them. Don't look at the
Yeah,
the people directing.
Act like you belong.
Yeah.
Drive right by him.
Don't look at him." And he just wheeled right up there. They were all kind of, because he didn't have his pass, but he wouldn't look. Don't look. And he pulled right up in there,
Hey.
front row.
Come on now.
Just a rule breaking.
I had to get my. Oh, listen, me
That's
and
breaking
Rubes.
the law.
Me and Rubes sat Game 6 of the World Series, 3 rows up at the Royals game. We actually have a picture.
Against the Mets.
No,
Sure, dude. There's a picture. And
There was
we're
a
in
picture.
It.
Because we went to opening day the following year, and we found ourselves in the picture. And I bought the picture. It's in my house.
I got one
Like
too.
just randomly.
Yeah.
Like a picture of the stadium.
Picture
or?
of the stadium
of that game.
like that game. We were there,
Of the World Series game.
and they put us. I mean, it wasn't just like it was the entire crowd, but we knew where our seats were, and we found ourselves. Could see just me and Rube sitting there watching the game.
Must be nice, man.
Saying.
Well, me and Rubes talk about baseball like every single day, so there's that.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite sports.
I'd say, what's your
Who's you go to for baseball then? Who right now? Who
Right
do you
now,
think's gonna win?
I'm pulling for the Baltimore Orioles because of my buddy.
Yeah.
That's who I'm pulling for. Atlanta Braves are going to be tough to beat, but you never know. Some teams just get hot
at
and
the right
things,
time. Yeah, pitching.
and things go right for them. Sometimes the best team doesn't win,
Mm-hmm.
but if you had to pick that, you would think the Braves. But I'm pulling for the Orioles.
yeah? There's gonna be some good October, November baseball this year. There's a lot of really good teams.
I love. We
You
should
got-
come over here and watch a.
I
We should
know.
watch a game.
When do you go to Florida?
Probably be near Christmas,
Oh, we got
November,
time.
December.
We got plenty of time over.
Yeah. So it is. You're right. The best time of the year. Baseball playoffs are going. College football's going. NFL's going. It's awesome, and
Things are
the
looking up.
weather's starting to change. So
Oh yeah,
it's a good time of the year,
we need that.
no doubt.
I'm really looking forward to the little chai tea, Rubes. Some chai tea jeans weather.
That's it.
That's Rubes' specialty right there.
Chai tea.
Little chai tea.
What's your favorite protein brand snack? You were known for putting out the good stuff in the weight room. Every single year there'd be some type of new protein cookie or protein bar that guys would go to?
I tell you who has a great bar to me. One of my favorite is by First Farm. Sherm turned me on to them. They're in St. Louis.
Right here.
Their bars are great.
Top notch stuff.
Top notch. Really good.
Nutrition wise, has obviously from your early years to now, how much does that go on you, especially with the Chiefs? I can't remember. I feel like there's a nutritionist, but it's like kind of like
just a consultant.
Yeah. You were. I felt like you were kind of in charge of the nutrition. How much?
I helped a little bit
changed?
with that. It probably not a ton.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most teams do have a nutritionist because they are very helpful. And far as a supplement, it's changed a lot since when I first got in. Now it's just mainly Gatorade products are in the locker rooms. And back then you could get
Monopoly.
just about anything you wanted.
Monopoly.
Yeah. Did you ever?
Now the players can get whatever they want.
Right. Did you ever think Sherm was on steroids?
No.
Any guys?
Because he's big all the time.
I mean, not anymore though. He's kind of. If you walk by him and kind of brush him, he's kind of softer. He's a little pudgy. We got to get him back in the weight room, grinding in the 5 a.m. But
Buddy, I'm not grinding at 5 a.m.
Come on, it's easy.
There's no reason to. It's not like I got anything else going on the rest of the day. I'm sitting over here at 2:30 on a Tuesday when I'm about to go leave to get my kids.
No, you gotta get in there, grind with me a little bit.
If Sherm was on steroids, he'd be benching probably 600 pounds.
Were there any guys that you ever coached that were on the juice?
Not that I know of. You know, if I had to guess, probably. You know, I mean, I can't.
And guys used to be like bigger. I feel like guys.
You know, I know at one time now when I was coming up in the 70s and 80s and probably in the 60s, there were guys taking it.
Bill Romanowski.
But you know, back then you didn't know all the effects of
Yeah.
it. You know, and it's so harmful. You kind of playing Russian roulette with your life by taking it.
Yeah, that's true.
But when you're 25 years old, you know.
Hey, just time and effort with the rubes.
Yeah, that's
time
right.
and effort with the rubes. That's why I got this way.
Hard work, baby.
Hard work pays off.
Well, Rubes, man, we really appreciate you coming on. This is obviously an honor. Our second ever guest. So we hope to get you back on when you're down in Florida, get you on a Zoom call.
Anytime.
I mean, he's going to be sitting there at the beach, feet up after his nice little pump he got.
Yeah,
walk on the beach.
What's next in your life? Are you completely retired? You want to work with some other teams down there?
I would like to do something, you know.
Baseball, spring training. We kind of talked about that a little bit.
Yeah,
before.
that's a possibility. Or just, you know, there in Vero Beach, maybe there's some possibilities for me there.
I mean, there's possibilities. For anyone that doesn't think Rubes is the best at what he does, it would be a privilege for them to have you be a part of their organization, their gym, you know, for you to be their personal trainer. Whatever it is you do after, you know, this next year or so, it'll be fun to say I had you as a strength coach and for my kids to know you, and they always do. And but for me, it'd be fun to watch you, you know, give back, you know, work with some youth athletes. I think you would be.
That would be fun, and hopefully there'll be
high school, maybe college kids.
Yeah, it would be fun, and hopefully there'll be something come my way. I just don't want to do not anything.
Right.
Barry Rubin Strength and Conditioning.
Yeah,
that's where they send. You want a freak? You send him down there for a couple months. He'll come back bigger, stronger, faster.
Yeah, we'll get him all hooked up. But yeah, we appreciate you coming on, Rubes. You're the best.
No, y'all are the best, and thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
And really enjoy hanging out with you guys.
You're the man.
Thanks,
I miss y'all.
Rubes.
I miss y'all.